So my personal story is that as an international student from Cyprus, I came in the US 2 years ago to pursue my bachelor's in psychology. Because of the current legislation, I cannot take a gap year between my bachelor's and whatever I want to do for graduate school. I have to return back to Cyprus according to my visa regulations. And this is actually very hard because there are a lot of preparations that go into applying for graduate school, and I feel like I would really need a gap year in between my bachelor's and my graduate degree so that I can prepare more, I can take the time to take the GREs, to gain more research experience, to get good recommendation letters.
I moved here when I was 17 years old. Because of the regulations in my country, I wasn't allowed to work until I was 18 years old. Because of this, I tried to obtain as many work experience as I could to put my education into practice, but I encountered difficulties from working policy restrictions.
When I applied to take part in Advocacy Day, I didn't really think how important advocacy is until I actually had to go to the conference and advocate, because I realized that if I cannot vote, then what other way do I have for my voice to be heard in the US government and to be reflected in US policies.
A few years ago, I went to NAFSA's Advocacy Day on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. in order to lobby on Capitol Hill. There were about 120 of my colleagues there, and there were just a few international students and study abroad students there, and I had the opportunity to meet those students. And I was so impressed by them that I decided right then that this was an opportunity that would be wonderful for Clark students.
Advocacy Day really opened my eyes to the different opportunities and organizations out there offering international education-based jobs and internships for students, and other kind of advocacy-based organizations in DC that I didn't know about previously. So I'm happy that now I'm plugged into that network and I can better refer students to some of those opportunities if they're interested in that kind of work.
Well, as an international student who finished high school and is now about to finish college in the US, I've had some trouble obtaining work experience. I believe education is not just about the knowledge you can get in the classroom, but putting that information into practice.
The last 2 years, I brought Clark students with me, and Connie came with us as well. And I think it was a wonderful experience for the students to learn about the issues, to present their cases to our representatives in Congress and in the Senate. And it's just an inspiring and unique opportunity that I think more people should be able to take advantage of. And I certainly am really happy that our students were allowed to grow in this capacity.
So Advocacy Day was really important to me because I had the opportunity to study abroad. I've lived in Spain, the UK, and Turkey as well. And I wanted other people to have that opportunity and for Congress to realize how important that opportunity was for students like me who otherwise wouldn't have had the chance.
As part of the Advocacy Day experience, I really valued the time that they took in training us on how to tell our story and the kind of formula that we can use to express our story to the congressmen and the senators that we were going to meet with on Capitol Hill. And I personally talked about my experience studying abroad in South Africa and how that really broadened my ability to apply for certain jobs and enter different fields, because a lot of the jobs that I'm interested in, which is international development, international relations-based jobs, and nonprofits, they're looking for people who have overseas work experience, especially in developing countries.
Our students, our motto here at Clark is challenge convention, change our world. But knowing how to change our world is really important. Through legislation, we hope that our students felt more empowered about positive ways to change the world through governmental experience and knowledge and connections.
So I had the opportunity to explain to the congressmen and senators exactly how important the study abroad experience was for me and how important it is to really provide more financial opportunities and more advertising for these programs so more students in the US can study abroad like I did and have an edge up in the career and in the global marketplace.
I think it's also really important for students who are internationals to be able to come and have those same opportunities. So after I've lived abroad for a while, I actually went into immigration law. So advocacy had a huge impact on what I did and my studies going forward, and me in my master's program now as well.
Advocacy Day supported our students in putting their education here into practice. How do you take what you learn in the classroom in a poli-sci class, for example, and apply it by meeting with your representatives? So for those reasons, we were delighted to take students for the past 2 years. We hope to take students over the next several years, and we hope to continue with this project and potentially to have the students continue with the project on their own and maybe even create an advocacy group.
Advocacy Day is a great opportunity to address these issues so a positive change can be made in the future.